the problem is with our society is that it's often like what I refer to as three pathogens that manage our thinking. And one of them is the economic pathogen, whereby we believe that we measure people by how much money they have in the bank and how much their economic worth is. The other is the social pathogen, whereby we measure people by their social status, and we judge people by the size of their front doors, and we think that we are our stuff. But we're not.
No, we're not.
We're this unique experience, and we think that if we collect all this stuff and climb to the top of the pile, there's actually going to be something there. As John Lennon said, life is what happens while you're planning other things. And it's about the journey. The journey is the life. The journey. See, people looking for enlightenment, looking for all this stuff, caught up in the matrix and looking for enlightenment, and they think it's this place that they're going to get to where they're suddenly going to be sitting on top of a mountain and they're glowing or something. They've suddenly got all the knowledge. Nirvana. It's not like that. It's a place that you never get to. It's the journey itself.
Truth is subjective, depending on what you want to believe, and that belief is the enemy of knowledge. These are two really important things. And something else I've always said is that you can have no stake in the outcome. How can you have a globe, and how can you have a flat, and how can you have a holographic universe? Because that's the reality. I mean, the globe universe, or the globe Earth, the flat Earth, the holographic universe, the fractal universe, the electric universe, they all fit together and they all coexist at the same time.
Reality is much more complex than any judgment of right or wrong encourages you to believe. When you really understand the ethical, spiritual, social, economic and psychological forces that shape individuals, you will see that people's choices are not based on a desire to hurt. Instead, they are in accord with what they know and what worldviews are available to them. Most are doing the best they can, given what information they've received and what problems they are facing.
I've mentioned to you before, what if this is a soul test? What if this is simply an exam before the main show? What if you've come here to show people what you're actually made of, and that what it's really all about is the mood that you're in when you die, how you're prepared to die, how much you're prepared to take, and how much you will allow the fear of death to overcome what you know is right. No matter how much we try to fix the world, we never get it fixed, because the people that are running the world are completely overtaken by this predator mind. And this is what has caused all of these problems. And when we try to fix these problems, we search for a way out, and we're not realizing how the predator works and what the predator is. And why would you be afraid of something like that anyway? I mean, how much are you prepared to take before you're prepared to say something? What if these are the real questions of what life is about, folks? And what if that's why evil exists? So that you have the choice as to whether to accept that evil, whether to speak up against that evil, whether to stand and shine your light and be a righteous person. What if that's what all this is about, folks? The earth that we live on is a globe. It's a beautiful globe earth. But the earth that we operate on is also flat, because again, it depends on what you believe. Belief is subjective. Truth is subjective depending on what you want to believe. And you can have two truths. It depends on what your belief system is. And it looks at how virtual reality is created as well. I mean, we think it's going to be all these computers we build and they're going to transfer our consciousness into a mainframe and rah. Yeah, they are. That's what they want to do. But the question is how they're going to do that. Is it going to be hooking us up with SCART plugs or something, or is it just going to be done with Wi-Fi? It's not about inflicting your belief systems on others. It's not about self-gratification. It's not about climbing to the top of any social pile or any economic pile. It's not about any of that stuff. It's about the moral stance that you adopt. It's about where you allow your moral compass to aim you and the direction you take from that aiming. I mean, what if this is what it's about, folks? What if it really is a soul test? What if this is simply an exam to find out what you're really made of?
Everything that exists, everything within all creation, manifest through the harmonic vibration of light and sound. Everything that exists is light and sound. Everything that exists is, at its most basic form, simply pure energy. And energy is the stuff that drives the universe itself. All things are created from this energy. If you really get down to it and look at reality on a quantum level, it's all about different vibrational frequencies of light and sound. Everything.
The Earth is a globe, yes. The Earth is flat, yes. And they can both coexist at the same time. And as soon as I uploaded that video, they thought, wow, we've got him, and they hit me, but I don't believe either one. I can see the truth in each one, but I don't believe either one. So I think they kind of missed out with. That's why I missed the ride, and I'm glad I missed the ride. And it's not about what we think it is. It's actually been a trap to try to get us into the mainframe, which they're going to do with Wi-Fi. And they sell it to you as a planetary alignment, and they sell it to you as ascension, but really it's not ascension. It's taking your consciousness and putting it into the mainframe, and you won't be able to tell the difference because of all the awareness we've been putting into the mainframe.
It's a hard concept to grasp, but when you feel that, and you start to see the value of yourself. See, people in our society have had their value taken from them as humans, and they've been given these false things to look as value. You know, our front door, our car, our this, our that. But what is valuable in you? It's the thing. They're looking for that value, but they don't know what they're looking for, because they had this thing taken from them, but they don't know what it is. So how can you know what you're searching for if you don't know what's been stolen from?
And it's all connected because all is energy. What we experience in the reality that we live in is that everything is connected by energy, and the energy permeates everything, much like the water permeates everything that exists within the ocean.
So many people seem to be completely unaware of the test. So many people seem to be completely unaware of themselves is the problem. So many people are lost. You know, if you really look at the world, folks, what you have is a lot of really sad, lonely people wandering around and wondering why they feel so disconnected from each other. And that's an unfortunate reality. And even when you look at that, a lot of people aren't even prepared to admit that. But if you can step back and look at it, that's very often what you see. Well, that's what I've seen very often in my travels anyway.
You see, we're actually swimming in an ocean too, folks. It's an ocean of energy. We are quite literally moving through an ocean made of energy that permeates absolutely everything. And this is why everything is connected. This is why everything is one. Everything comes from a single source. And this is how we are connected, and it's how we are also completely separate.